middle 30s, the Board of Trustees, which looks after the physical properties of the church, recommended to the congregation that we put a fence around the cemetery. So in the middle 1930s, they had a meeting for a whole hour. They discussed how high the fence, what color the fence, a steel fence, wooden fence, metal, whatever, you know, concrete fence. After an hour, they got nowhere. Then old George Ransenberger got up. George Ransenberger was a sex. You can turn left, right?
Left.
Yeah, left to the dead end. Then right into town. George Ransenberger got up. He was a sexton of the church. He took care of the church. He said, "Gentlemen, in this meeting, get to your feet." So they all, this is in German. They all got up. Look out to the west. And they all looked out. You see all those people out there? He pointed out the gravestones to them. They can't get out. You're sitting in church. You don't care to get in. And you want to put a fence around the cemetery. The point was, to what end? They tabled it to this day. There's no fence around the cemetery. The ironic part was it took a 78-year-old guy to bring him to their senses. We don't need a fence around the cemetery. We just passed Independence Village.
Oh, did I? Okay.
No, that's fine. Keep going to that end. But Independence Village, that's a home for the seniors. You have to be ambulatory to live there. My mother-in-law spent the last 4 years of her life there. She paid like $1,800 a month. She had a small bedroom, kitchen. That's a lot of money. In the butt. You got to remember, she sold her home for $140,000. Put the money to work. That and Social Security. My mother could live there nice. You know, their meals were there. Their little apartment. She had her own little apartment. The insurance company. That's another funny story. They were formed in 1882. They are one of the 50th largest in the United States. But the Germans, when they got here, to buy insurance went against their religion. Because if you bought insurance, you didn't put your trust in the Lord, you put your trust in something other than the Lord. So they couldn't buy insurance, but after they saw how much money the insurance company was making, in 10 years down the road, they bought the insurance company. So they didn't buy insurance, but they bought the company. Here's the school system on your left. That's where the 33 teachers are working with the 507 kids. There's a little chapel in front that we use for the elderly. What chapel service once a month. On your right is a Lutheran home, 152 beds. Now that's the place where you put mom and dad ones who can't take care of them anymore. You know, that's a care facility, we call it. Coming up on your left, there's another one, tender care, another 126 beds for people that can't take care of themselves. The railroad, as you notice, Sue didn't run across any railroad tracks. There used to be a spur coming from Saginaw right where we're driving. In the middle 20s, the Germans tore the railroad spur out. You look at the history books, you wonder why would they tear the railroad, you know, tear the tracks out. Well, the reason given was the railroad attracted too many undesirable characters, too many hobos in town. So you fix that, you tear the tracks out, no train can come in, you got no hobos, right? Fantastic story sometimes. The story, you know, we say about the Germans, you can always tell a German, but you can't tell them much. And that's so true when you read some of the old-timers, the stories about the old-timers. Fire engine there on your left. As you noticed, when the Zender family bought the Fisher Hotel, they added on a room called the Bavarian Room. That was in 1956. In 1959, we had dedication to the Bavarian Room, and from there on, it was called the Bavarian Inn. From that day on, people were encouraged when you built or when you added on, you would do it in a German motif. You know, the tile roofs, the copper domes, and this stuff. That picked up in 1956. That started, and since then, you see more and more buildings taking on that German character. That used to be an insurance company, it used to be the bank. They sized down, they make a lot fewer bills, you don't need the people, so they had a little office on the other side. And the insurance company took that over. This used to be the first IGA store in town, the Civil Drug Store, 1949. That was the IGA store. Since then, we're on our third IGA store, now it's a Kroger store to go. The bank that I told you about, this was a state bank and the other side was a national bank. After the bank holidays in the 30s there, the national bank never did open up again. The state bank did open up. This used to be Ordner's General Store. That was a Walmart of its day when I was a kid. They had everything from Q-tips to hip boots. We were going fishing for rods and reels, shotgun, shot day. This is the only one that's called the Rummelplatz. That's fashioned after the businesses in Germany where the family lives upstairs and the business is downstairs. They have an insurance business. They live upstairs. They do their business downstairs. On your right, this used to be the woolen mills. Now they had Zeilinger, you saw across the river before. Zeilinger, the Abraham family had it, married a Zeilinger and started their own business. This was a cider mill. That's where Dad and I came and brought our apples, got our apples squeezed for fresh cider. This was a Chevy dealer where the Fudge Kitchen is. This whole, the whole complexion of this downtown has changed.
Behind the Bavarian?
Yes, you can go right.